have you ever felt like the light at the end of the tunnel went out and took the tunnel with it? That somewhere along the way, you stopped believing that things could ever get better, that joy could still visit your doorstep, or that your story could still surprise you with beauty. If you felt that way, this message is for you. Not to tell you what hope looks like from a distance, but to walk with you step by step back toward it. Because even in the quiet, shattered spaces of your life, hope isn't lost. It's just waiting for you to notice it's still there. Let's talk about how to be hopeful, not in theory, but in a way that changes how you wake up tomorrow. Hope isn't this magical feeling that one day lands in your heart when life finally decides to be kind. It's not something that arrives after all the pain has passed, or once everything makes sense. No, hope is a choice we make in the dark, when nothing around us suggests there's light. It's the quiet, trembling decision to keep believing in something better, even when our eyes are filled with tears. It's waking up on a day that looks just like yesterday and saying, "Still, I will try." You don't have to wait for circumstances to change to feel hopeful. Hope begins when you change, when you shift from asking, "Why me?" to "What now?" It's not about ignoring your pain. It's about not letting that pain define the end of your story. You can be shattered and still hopeful. You can carry grief in one hand and dreams in the other. That's the beauty of being human. Our hearts can hold contradictions and still find the strength to keep beating with courage. The way we think about our lives, our inner dialogue, can either keep us caged or set us free. So many of us are trapped not by our reality, but by the stories we repeat to ourselves. The narrative that says, "It's too late for me," or "I've already lost too much to start again." But what if the story isn't over? What if you're still in the middle chapters and the plot twist, the one where everything shifts, is coming next? The mind is powerful, and when we choose to rewrite the script in our head, we give hope a place to live. You are not your past. You are not your failures. You are the author of this next chapter. And no matter how messy the beginning, a beautiful ending is still possible if you dare to believe it is. There is something deeply painful about looking at someone else's life and feeling like you're falling behind in your own. Like somehow you've missed the mark. Like joy and love and fulfillment were given to everyone but you. Comparison creeps in so silently, wrapping itself around your heart until all you see are your shortcomings. But here's the truth no one talks about. What you see in others is never the whole story. You see the laughter but not the loneliness. You see the highlight but not the heartbreak. And while you're measuring your worth against filtered moments, you forget the unique beauty of your own journey. Hope cannot survive where comparison thrives, but it blooms where connection begins, when we choose to be real, to open up, to allow others to witness our struggles without shame. When we stop pretending and start sharing, we realize we are not alone in our pain. And in that shared humanity, hope finds its breath again. Healing doesn't move in a straight line. Some days you will feel strong and unshakable, and the next you may find yourself curled up, crying for reasons you thought you had already healed from. That doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. Hope doesn't ask you to be perfect. It asks you to be honest. It lives in the days you get back up after falling apart. It grows in the quiet moments when you decide not to give up on yourself. You are allowed to feel tired. You are allowed to pause. But never forget that even in your stillness, you are healing. The pain isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign that something inside you is trying to transform. And even when it feels like you're standing still, your soul is still moving forward. There comes a time when you look at your pain and realize it's asking for more than your tears. It's asking for a purpose. The most powerful transformation happens when you stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start asking, "What can I do with what has happened?" Pain that is left unspoken weighs us down. But when that same pain is shared, when it's used to lift someone else, it becomes a source of strength. The wounds you carry are not your weakness. They are proof that you survived. And now, those wounds can become the very bridge that connects you to others. Someone out there is searching for a light, a sign, a reason to keep going, and your story might be that reason. You don't need to have everything figured out to be a light for someone else. Just your presence, your truth, your honesty. That's enough. Let your pain guide you toward purpose, not bitterness. Let it deepen your compassion and soften your heart, because what you've walked through has made you someone who understands, and that is a gift. The words you speak to yourself matter more than you know. Every time you call yourself not enough, every time you say, I can't, I'm too late, or I'm a failure, you are planting seeds of hopelessness. And what grows from that? Self-doubt, fear, shame. But imagine if you chose different words. Imagine if, just for today, you looked in the mirror and said, I'm proud of you for trying. Or you didn't give up, and that's enough. That shift, however small, creates space for hope to breathe. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love, because how you treat yourself in your lowest moments shapes the path back to your strength. There is a quiet kind of suffering that comes from feeling like you've run out of time. That sinking feeling that whispers, you should have been further by now. And with it comes shame, pressure, and the temptation to give up. Not because your dream isn't beautiful, but because it hasn't arrived yet. But maybe the delay isn't a denial. Maybe it's a redirection or a preparation. Maybe what you're waiting for is still being shaped in the unseen, just like you are. The world has a way of rushing us, of measuring our worth against clocks and calendars. But your journey doesn't have to follow anyone else's pace. The right moment, the right connection, the right breakthrough, it doesn't always show up when we want it, but it arrives when we're ready. And readiness isn't about perfection. It's about growth, awareness, and becoming someone who can hold the weight of the blessings coming. So let go of the timeline. Embrace where you are. Because even now, in this in-between, something sacred is unfolding. Hope is not a feeling that floats in the air. It is something you practice. And the first practice is this: show up. When your heart feels heavy, when everything inside you wants to stay hidden, when nothing makes sense, show up. For yourself. For the life that's still waiting to be lived. Sometimes hope looks like putting your feet on the floor and taking one deep breath. Sometimes it's brushing your hair, making a cup of tea, or replying to one message. These small acts are not meaningless, they are declarations. They say, I am still here. You don't have to feel strong to be brave. Just being here, listening, choosing to stay, that's hope. And that is enough to start again. If this message touched something deep within you, don't let it stay silent. Share your thoughts in the comments. Your words might be the hope someone else needs today. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear these words, and subscribe for more life-changing conversations. And tell us, what topic do you want us to explore next? This is more than a video. It's a space for healing, connection, and transformation. Let's keep walking this journey together. Hope didn't leave you, you're just now learning how to see it again.